Okay, I think we're live and I think we should get started. All right. Uh, Great. I think it's all good. One second, let me just check this, make sure it's okay. And can I confirm you can actually hear me? I've enabled the chat thing so you can actually type and I'll be able to see your questions if you have any. And if you haven't got any, then that's perfectly fine. But let's get started. All right. Hi, everybody. And thank you for calling in. I'm just going to let everybody know that this session has started. And then we can then kick off without any delays. So just bear with me. I'll just grab this. And we are now live. And hopefully we will get the best out of this session. Okay, there we go. And here we go. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the title of this live session is called It's Time to Go Organic. And this message is particularly focused on my existing candidates and also prospective candidates. And at this point, I need you to please get your pen and papers out and basically start writing stuff down. I've got some notes here as well. Obviously, I had to prepare for it. But more importantly, I think it's time to review what basically we've been doing over the last since the beginning of the year. If you look at it now, we've gone through January, February, March, April. So we're going to the fifth month of the year. So we're basically after the fifth month, we're just one more month away from the middle of the year. So that's halfway through the year. So time flies. Just last it feels like yesterday was New Year's Day. You know, it even feels like yesterday was Christmas. And so time waits for no man is the only commodity we cannot get a refund on. So what we do with our time now, the decisions we make right now will determine our career path, our earning potential, and our ability to be able to look back and feel proud about our achievements. And one of the things I've been saying over and over again is the new age we're living in, which is the digital age. We have evolved from the the hunting age to the agrarian, that's agricultural age, to the industrial age, the information age, and now we're very much in the interconnectivity age where data is driving everything in the digital age. And this digital age we're living in is evolving so much faster than anything we have been used to. I mean, if you were part of the data analytics session we had yesterday, about 80% of all the data that we have now has been generated within the last 2 years, like the big size of that data from what Vias mentioned yesterday, who's our data scientist training us. And it's very, very clear that we might learn something today, but within a week or two, actually, let's be more realistic, within a month or a month and a half, you have to learn something new. You know, so once upon a time, it was perfectly okay to do a Prince 2 qualification and be good for the next 5 years, you know, and just focus on gaining your experience and managing your projects. But right now, that's no longer the case. It's basically pretty scary. I learn one thing and 2 months later, I have to catch up and learn something else, which is pretty scary. So when the rate of evolution is far much greater than the rate of adaptation, what tends to happen is extinction. So evolution is like this, and then adaptation is like this, and evolution is like this. Eventually you can't catch up, right? So extinction is what happens. And I believe that's what's actually happening. It's first started with corporations. You know, we started seeing the signs of it years ago, but people felt they were okay. Then there was the whole little slogan or gimmick of digital transformation that people thought it was a gimmick until companies that had digitally transformed were the only ones able to survive and evolve, while those that are not did not transform basically started experiencing bankruptcy. And it's catching up to employees. Why? Because if one of the things I mentioned, and I'm coming back to this organic growth very quickly, one of the things I mentioned to a lot of people is that the major corporations you see today are your once upon a time startups. Your Facebook, once upon a startup. Your Google, once upon a startup. Your Amazon, once upon a startup. Your Uber, once upon a startup. Your Twitter, once upon a startup. Your Alibaba, once upon a startup. Startups that basically maximize as much as they could from one employee, and they had limited budget, and as a result of it, they looked for ingenious ways to grow, organic ways to grow. Now, when we look at the word organic growth, it's very much increasing your output and also enhancing your sales using internal capabilities. So using what you have to get what you want. There's an old saying that a better hand is better than 10,000 in the forest. Birds of the same feather flock together. So focus on using so using what you have to get the small number of customers you want. Then the insights you gain on those customers will enable you to find more lookalikes on those customers, and they would also become advocates for your business and grow your business for you. And and what has accelerated that is technology, digital technology. What will normally take us 5-10 years to achieve, you have these massive corporations achieving it in a short space of time. So what would have taken, so Debenhams was a 253-year-old company worth 1.2 billion. You have companies like Facebook, less than so I don't even know if Facebook is 10 years old now, but let's just say 10 years old. I don't even think it's 10 years old, but let's just say 10 years old. So you have companies like Facebook, 10 years old, worth billions in hundred, getting close to $1 trillion company, while companies have been around for 200 and something years, just 1.2 billion and going bankrupt. So that does say something, doesn't it? And it tells you, and what's happened is these big massive corporations, these tech companies are now among these tech companies are now among, and this is important, they're now among the top five largest corporations. But guess what they're doing? They are still applying organic growth. They're still using internal resources to generate sales. And one of the key focus areas, and like I said, I've got my notes here. One of the key focus areas is focusing on metrics. So using internal capabilities to focus on performance metrics, skills, sales metrics, revenue metrics, consumer metrics, and basically it's all about metrics. And when you look at metrics, you're looking at data, isn't it? You're looking at data. But that is not just focusing on these corporations. It's trickling down everywhere because according to Gartner, all businesses are now digital businesses, because if you don't digitally transform, it's a complete disaster. And I've got here We Are Social's report. They've actually released the 2019 global digital report. And here's some interesting, if you want to summarize it, global internet use has accelerated in 2019. So it had and if you think about the word accelerate, it's increased in pace. And when you look at mobile penetration worldwide is now 67%. So any business that is not integrated into the digitally savvy consumer, think about that, mobile penetration is 67%. So that's basically talking to digitally savvy upward mobile consumers. Internet use is 57%. Social media is 45%. Mobile social is 42%. So basically what they're saying is that the number of when you look at the world population, the total number of people on social media is 45% of the world population. That's a heck of a lot of people. That means that basically combine many continents together, that is a social media continent. I don't know if that makes sense. Mobile social, that's the people who are accessing social media on their mobile phone, is 42%. This is why about 2 years ago, companies were encouraged to have a mobile social first strategy. Makes sense. Internet penetration is 57%, but mobile penetration is 67%. And that is why it is critical to have a mobile social first strategy. Well, when we think about it, if as a result of, I'm trying to look for my mobile phone here, I want to use that as an example, but I can't see, I've seen it, it's over there, it's too far away. So actually I'm going to take it, just wait a second, I'm just going to take the phone. Okay, there you go. So so just think about it. Your entire life is on here, right? This mobile phone, that's where your entire life is. And a lot of these phones, the smartphone penetration is increasing dramatically. So feature phones are dying off, dramatic drop in feature phones, and you have smartphones going up. And what does a smartphone allow you to do? Well, a smartphone allows you to basically have your entire life integrated into this. And It's all of your data communicating with many, many products. So the apps on there are actual products. So for example, your music app is a product. It used to be you buying CDs, right? Your Netflix is used to you buying DVDs, right? Your calendar used to you buying a paper-based calendar. Your Google Maps, your A to Z, right? So these are all products. Your Gmail, your email, and stuff like that. So they're all products on your smartphone, and you are using your data. Digital means electronic data. You're using your electronic data to communicate with or engage with these products. Whose products? Companies' products. Then they are looking at the customer activity on those products. When you register to use those products, you give them your information, your the customer details, your first name, your demographics, more or less. They might even get some insights into your psychographic profiling, and your activity on their products gives them access to behavioral use, how you're using their product. And that is a lot of insights. That's a lot of information, right? Key information that enables them to focus on increasing their outputs, focus on increasing their sales by understanding what you are doing. So it makes perfect sense that every company is focused on creating digital products that can be perfectly integrated into the customer's lifestyle. And that is why Gartner is saying that since all businesses are now digital businesses, they should move away from a project thinking mindset, project portfolio, to product management portfolio. Is that clear? So at that point, it kind of makes sense for me to focus on metrics. So look at the performance of my product. Look at the consumer experience. Look at the metrics in terms of consumers. Look at engagement. Look at sales. Look at revenue, and so many other things. And so data becomes the lifeblood of every single business. So organic growth is something that is no longer related to startups. Organic growth is something that's now related to any digital business. So whether it is the banking sector, they have a digital product, your online banking. Whether it is the travel industry, they have a digital product. You want to book an airline, you go on, you download the Virgin app, or you download the British Airways app, or you use the Expedia, wherever it is, or Booking.com, digital product. NHS is looking towards creating a digital product. In fact, they're going further, where they are basically focusing on a unified system, where they're accumulating as much data as they can from a variety of resources to gain lot more insights into the patient, and then using artificial intelligence and machine learning to be able to create solutions that can diagnose people from the convenience of their home. So for example, I can use my Face ID now, right? I can use my fingerprints, right? When I'm using my iWatch, it can check my is it my not my blood pressure. You can check my blood pressure. I think it can check my blood pressure. You can check my heart rate and stuff like that. So all that information based on what I already have about you, can I tell you what's wrong with you? You know, when you're looking into so that there's just so much as available. And companies will be focused. See, organic growth will help you to identify new product lines, identify ways of improving your existing products, and more importantly, improving the customer experience. And that is where growth hacking comes into place. This is where the design thinking approach is important, where you're providing solutions to problems from a customer-centric point of view. And in order for you to be customer-centric, you need to have access to the customer's data, the customer's activity, the customer's DNA, you know, because that DNA gives you insights in how to better please that customer. It makes sense. So when you think about all these things, you now stop and ask yourself, well, if companies are going organic, more product-driven, data-driven, and tapping into how they can capitalize on innovation accelerators. When we say innovation accelerators, just think of the word innovation, think technology, think about the acceleration of it. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, next gen security systems, social, in terms of immersive social experience, and all of these really interesting buzzwords that basically are redefining the way businesses interact with consumers. And I keep telling people, once an experience has been adopted by society and it becomes an expectation, it's absolutely critical that at that point competitors are either at par or gaining a competitive advantage. So what you now have is a lot of corporations looking to constantly deliver the best customer experience using digital technology and basically competing with each other in order to deliver the best experience, because whoever is able, look, when you have 67% of mobile penetration and 67% of the population is on their mobile phone, that's 5 point something billion people out of 7 billion people. If you have 5 point something billion people using your app, and the internet enables you to have access to a global market, you're not limited by embargoes or by barriers or whatever it is. The internet gives you access to everything, right? Everyone. So as a result of that, everyone's going for that market. Everyone wants to have, whoever has the largest customer base and has access to that data, understands what to do with that data, basically rules the world, right? So that's kind of really the reality of it all, right? Okay, good. So let's jump over to the next page. Before I even jump over the next page, okay, I'll stay on the next page. I already know what it is that I'm going to talk about. So now, I mentioned to you earlier this year, and I said, Brexit will not be the cause of massive redundancy over the next this year, next year. Brexit will not be the cause; it will be the catalyst. And what do I mean by that? Well, before Brexit happened, technology had already started replacing jobs. A company invests in robotic process automation to automate a process that takes 2 weeks to do and 200 people. They've automated that process. They get rid of the 200 people. Technology has taken over your job. We invest in an AI chatbot to be able to deal with customer queries. We used to have 1,000 customer service people. Now we only have 20. It's gotten rid of 800 people. So what you're finding is people without relevant digital skills are finding themselves out of work because digitization, automation, artificial intelligence is taking over their jobs. Does that make sense? So Brexit is not what you should be afraid of. What you should be afraid of is the rate at which the digital space is evolving and how quickly you are adapting. So when you go organic, it means that you are in a position where you are constantly reinventing yourself. So what I want all of my candidates and anybody that's planning to come on our platform in the future, what I want you to, the mindset I need you to start having is not, oh, I just need to learn ABC, get a job, and I'll be okay. That, at this point in time, is a failure mindset. You will not succeed with that mindset. And this is the main reason why I'm doing this video, or this live session. What you need, the mindset you need to now have is, what do I need to learn? What do I need to build my expertise in to stay relevant? That is the focus area now. So you're in a position where you're constantly reinventing yourself in order for you to become relevant. So because when that rate of adaptation is lower than the rate of evolution, then you have to basically be at par with that rate of evolution. It's just that simple. You don't need to look any further in regards to that. So when we look at Brexit, what do I mean by it will be a catalyst? Well, we now know that as a result of market uncertainty, a lot of corporations are not investing. They're holding off on investment. They're not spending, and consumers are also not spending. And that's a big problem. If consumers are not spending and corporations are not investing, there's no growth, right? And that means that they'll be looking also to cut down costs. However, where they cannot afford to cut down costs in, the area they can't afford to cut down costs, and I need you to take note of this, is in the area of staying relevant within the digital space. Because whether you choose not to spend money in this area or that area, if your product does not deliver the best customer experience to the digitally savvy customer, and a startup company that is spending less than you are spending, that is going through an organic growth process, that is following the growth hacking approach, the agile development approach, the design thinking approach, where they focus on the minimum viable product, give their target audience who they've identified exactly what they want, get that customer to love that product, and organically tell their friends about it. In no time, that small company catches up to you and you don't have a business, you're dead. So what's happening is corporations know that an area they cannot afford not to continue to invest in, not to continue to innovate in, and not to continue to, not where they cannot afford to continue to afford not to, so not, I'm sorry, the areas that they cannot afford to ignore is what I'm saying. Are the areas where is the area of digitization, area of digital products that are integrated into customers' lifestyle. And as a result, you will find that the goal of companies is to continue to build trust with consumers, continue to deliver a better consumer experience, look to drive down operational costs and improve operational efficiency through digitization and automation and artificial intelligence, look to create a unified system to give them better insights into their customers by connecting it to a business intelligence tool and taking advantage of big data, since we have the cloud technology, and evolution of voice, like other new technologies like voice, having an immersive social experience through through artificial intelligence, and collective AI. So basically being able to connect multiple AI systems together in order to deliver more intelligent responses that meets the needs of the end user, that basically enables the end user to get what they want and also informs the business on what the business should be doing. And also automation, which basically gets rid of as much cost as possible. So if your business is not investing in that area, and another business is, that business is going to do better than you and they're going to steal your market share. And when that happens, what's going to happen? You go down. So regardless of Brexit, I don't know if you get where I'm coming from, one area they cannot afford not to invest in is digitization. And that is why, as all other industries are kind of going down, digitization, the digital industry keeps going up. Do you see where I'm coming from? And Gartner has said that, look, all businesses that are now digital businesses need to focus on product, on product management, on delivering products that customers actually want to use. So what does that mean? Well, who's going to do all this job? Employees, right? Employees, you. So they're now looking for product-centric employees. They're looking for data-driven employees. They're looking for employees who are comb-shaped employees. So people who have that general project management, business analysis skills anyway. So what I was saying earlier is, I'm not saying, look, project management, business analysis on its own, without you understanding the digital space and understanding how to add value in the digital space, without you positioning yourself as a digital solutions provider, is dead. That's what you need to understand, okay? So don't be scared that, oh my God, I wasted my life studying PM and BA. No. What you need to understand is what are the multiple specialist skills I need to add onto what I already have in order to be relevant. And one thing that is very, very clear is we know that data is the foundation of all of that. But we also know that accelerating technology that is accelerating in terms of innovation is also key. So now, where does that now leave us? Where does that leave you? Well, if organic growth is what drives all of this, which I've obviously explained to you before, then what mindset should you have? You should have an organic growth mindset. You should start positioning yourself as an organic growth specialist or an organic growth expert. Now, what do I mean by that? Let us say that you are a business analyst. We all know right now that if our customers' activity is on the here, and we have the information, we have a unified system, we know that the activity and the demographics of that customer and the psychographic profiling gives us insights, and also their behavior of how they use our apps gives us insights. It can help us make predictive analysis, it can make us make prescriptive analysis, it can help us there are actually a number of analyses out there, but let's just focus on those two. And as a result, we can use our internal capabilities, use all these business intelligence tools to gain insights on how best to serve our customers. And the more insights we get, we can now start looking at technology that can enhance the customer experience. So for example, you are in a position to make recommendations on artificial intelligence, you're in a position to make recommendations on robotic process automation, you're in a process of making recommendations on any form of technology that will boost the customer experience, that will drive down operational costs, that will improve operational efficiency, because that's what all businesses want, isn't it? So that is organic, that's having an organic growth mindset. And as a data-driven business analyst at this point in time, as a customer-centric and data-driven business analyst at this point in time, you are really product-driven, aren't you? Because you are using the customers, you're using the information you have about the customer to understand pain points across the customer journey and identify solutions at each touch point in order to deliver a better customer experience. And by constantly studying and experimenting and learning, growth hacking, you are able to come up with those solutions. And also you're in a position where your user experience skills allows you to prototype, and that agile approach mindset allows you to allow for constant feedback, allow for focusing on the most important thing we need to do right now without spending too much money, and delivering on an incremental basis, and focusing on continuous improvement within a DevOps environment. So these are the new world. This is where we are now, and there are tools available for us to be able to do this. Tools we can have internally that helps us to increase output, enhance sales, and more importantly, deliver new products that customers actually want to use, improve on existing products that customers want to use, and also increase overall customer experience and overall operational efficiency. So when you think about it from this perspective, you now know without a shadow of a doubt that you have to become an organic growth expert. Whether you are a data analyst, whether you're a business intelligence analyst, whether you are a data-driven business analyst, whether you are a product owner, whether you are a product manager, whether you are a scrum master, whether you're a PMO analyst or a product analyst, whether you are a delivery manager, whatever role that falls within that digital space, you have to have that organic growth mindset. You have to be data driven, you have to be customer centric. And that is the key word I want you all to have going forward. Why? Because I believe that the people with this mindset are the people that will survive in the digital age that we are in. Not we are going into, we are in. And with this, sometimes all you need is a vision, all you need is direction. And as long as you follow that path, you'll be perfectly fine. And I believe that I am giving you that direction here. So where do we go from here? Those of you that have just started and are about to complete your project management and business analysis training, don't despair, don't be worried. Know what you're doing, get involved in it, finish it. But identify the key specialist areas you need to be focusing in, which is data, digital marketing, GDPR, agile product management, web analytics, explore innovation accelerators, evolution of CRM, because I believe that's going somewhere, artificial intelligence, chatbots, robotics or robotic process automation. Explore those areas. Identify where you are going to become a solution provider, and put it on your mind that I am no longer an employee looking for work. I am a digital solutions provider who has an organic growth mindset, organic growth approach to product development. And when you position yourself as that, I guarantee you one thing: employers will be looking for you. Why? Because while most people, one of the biggest challenges humanity has is change. Nobody likes change. What I'm trying to tell you is love change. What I'm trying to tell you is become change. Put yourself in a position where you are focusing on constantly evolving, which means that you're constantly reinventing yourself. As soon as you finish data analytics, don't say, oh, I'm done. Ah, thank God. No. What do I need to learn next? As you finish web analytics, don't say, no, I'm done. What do I need to learn next? And what value does it add to corporations? So stop thinking about the money you're going to make. The money will come. Start thinking about the value you can add. What you do today, how you invest your time today, will determine your earning potential tomorrow. Time is the only commodity we cannot, we will never get a refund on. So make sure you make the best use of it today. And I hope that you've all been blessed from this session. I don't want to go beyond half an hour. I hope it's something that you would listen to over and over again, and I hope that it will guide you through your career. And I can't wait to share your success stories. I can't wait for the day that you guys will come back, just like it's done many years before. You would say, I remember this video, I remember when KG talked about this, I remember this, I remember that, and I'm so happy I listened. That's how what it's always been. That's how it's always been for the last 10 years. Why should it stop now? And the only way it will stop is if you don't evolve. And that's something that will not happen under my watch. May God bless you and take care. I don't know how to shut this thing down. 1 second.